big four markets we work with are hospital outpatient clinics. They're these wound care centers. They actually specialize in wound care. They have doctors, nurses who all they do all day is wound care, so they are really the leading experts. We work with skilled nursing facilities, home care groups, and we're actually really expanding into inpatient settings as well. We found there's a significant impact we can have on pressure ulcers or bed sores that patients can be treated for in an inpatient setting after surgery. So we're really rapidly expanding into all of these different areas where wound care is done. So we had a really exciting experience through the CBID program, that Center for Bioengineering Innovation and Design at Hopkins, and bridging that to Dream It Health in Philadelphia. Dream It's really great for actually getting folks to understand the basic unmet clinical need, to kind of understand every single angle of the problem that you're looking at and start to put together a really complete picture of what a solution could look like. Essentially what we did after that is we went to Dream It Health in Philadelphia, which is really more designed to get early companies, back when we did it, get early companies to think like a business, actually figure out who their payers are, how the business strategy looks like, what the fundraising strategy looks like. And I think one of the reasons we really benefited from the Dream It program was because we had this front end of CBID to actually spend time getting to know the market. The combination of those two, I think, play extremely well together, and I hope we'll see more CBID companies go through accelerators, start companies. So originally, we first started getting into wound care because we were in the ICU at Hopkins, and we were, me personally, I was observing this procedure called wet to dry dressing change, which is when a clinician, you have this sort of deep wound, you pack it full of wet gauze, you wait for the gauze to dry, and then you rip it out. And it's very effective at removing necrotic tissue, but it's extremely painful for the patient. So I looked at that and was sort of just very surprised. I thought there has to be a better way for you to care for patients and communicate with them after they leave the hospital. And wouldn't it be great if you could remove the necrotic tissue slowly over time and not just rip it out all immediately. So when we were first at CBID, we were essentially looking at a way to integrate the debridement, or the removal of necrotic tissue, over time. We actually made great progress while we were in CBID. We were working with some really novel hydrogels, some great material science folks, and we had a lot of interest in that technology. It was as the program was starting to wrap up that we were doing our animal studies on those, and we started to realize there is no good way, even in animal studies, even in preclinical trials, clinical trials, there's no good way to actually figure out how a wound is progressing over time. The data that we have out there is too variable, or it's too noisy to really see a clear result. So the year was wrapping up, and we were looking at these digital health programs. We were looking at Dream It Health and others across the country, and we decided to pivot and start to look at just this basic problem of how wounds are quantified. After deciding to look at this different direction, sort of try to solve this more fundamental problem, we did go up to Philadelphia for the Dream It Health Accelerator. They really specialize in health IT, so they were extremely good partners to have. And that program helped us transition from being this sort of research-oriented company to actually being a for-profit company that fundraises and actually looks to attract clients. I think that's something you tend to see with Hopkins companies because Hopkins is so strongly research focused. There's a lot of great programs out there like iCore and other programs in Maryland through TEDCO that can really help transition sort of the mindset of companies into more of a for-profit fundraising perspective.